Have you ever wondered why some people seem unshaken, no matter what life throws at them? Why do they radiate a calm confidence and mental strength that feels almost unattainable? If you've ever felt overwhelmed by life's challenges, this video is for you. Today, we're diving into the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, the ancient Stoic philosopher, and the 5 key habits of mentally strong people inspired by Stoicism. Trust me, these habits can transform not only how you deal with life's struggles, but also how you approach love, work, and everything in between. But before we jump into these life-changing ideas, take a moment to subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. If you stay till the end, you'll discover how one of these habits could completely change your perspective on relationships and help you cultivate a deeper, more fulfilling love life. Imagine this: you're walking through a busy market in ancient Rome. Noise fills the air, vendors shouting, people bargaining, and the occasional clash of swords in the distance. Amid the chaos walks Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the empire. Yet his expression is calm, thoughtful, even serene. As the emperor, his life was anything but peaceful. Yet his journal, later published as Meditations, reveals the timeless principles. He used to maintain strength of mind and clarity under pressure. Fast forward to today, and you'll find these principles reflected in the habits of mentally strong people. Here are 5 habits grounded in Stoicism that can help you build resilience, find peace in chaos, and transform your life. 1. Focus on what you can control. Have you ever been in love? Think about it for a moment. The butterflies in your stomach, the excitement of seeing their name pop up on your phone, the quiet moments when it feels like the world has paused and it's just the two of you. Love is beautiful, but let's be honest, it can also be chaotic, messy, and downright overwhelming. Now imagine this: you're in a relationship and suddenly you feel like everything is out of your control. Your partner seems distant. They're not texting back like they used to, and your mind starts spinning with a million what-ifs. Did I say something wrong? Are they losing interest? Are they seeing someone else? The more you think about it, the worse you feel, and before you know it, you're drowning in a sea of anxiety. Here's the truth: this scenario happens to all of us, whether in love, work, or life in general. The problem isn't love itself, it's where we direct our energy, and this is where Marcus Aurelius comes in with his timeless wisdom. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Let's break that down. When you're in a situation where you feel helpless, like in the story I just shared, what are you focusing on? Your partner's behavior, their reactions, or maybe even their silence? All of these are things outside your control. But there's something you can control: your thoughts, your actions, and your perspective. Let me tell you a story about Emma. Emma was madly in love with Jack. They had the kind of love you see in movies: the long conversations, the laughter, and the feeling that they were meant to be. But then life happened. Jack started pulling away, not because he didn't love her, but because he was dealing with his own stress at work. Emma didn't know this, though. All she could see was his distance. She spent weeks trying to decode his behavior. Why isn't he calling me as much? Did I do something wrong? She started overthinking, checking his social media obsessively, and even imagining worst-case scenarios. This spiral of doubt wasn't just hurting her, it was affecting her relationship. One day, Emma stumbled upon the idea of focusing on what she could control. Instead of obsessing over Jack's behavior, she decided to focus on herself. She started journaling to clear her thoughts, taking time to practice gratitude for the good moments they had shared, and investing in her own hobbies. A funny thing happened. As Emma let go of trying to control Jack's behavior, she started feeling more at peace. Her calmness and confidence drew Jack back in. They eventually had an honest conversation, and Emma realized his distance wasn't about her at all. Now, let me ask you, does this sound familiar? Have you ever been in a situation where you've overthought yourself into a corner, only to realize later that the only thing you truly had control over was your own response. When you shift your focus to what you can control, everything changes. Instead of spiraling into anxiety, you take back your power. You can't force someone to love you, text you back faster, or behave a certain way, but you can choose to show up as the best version of yourself. You can control your actions, your attitude, and your mindset. So, the next time you're in a situation where you feel powerless, whether in love or life, pause. Ask yourself, am I focusing on what I can control? If not, redirect your energy. And let me tell you, when you master this habit, you don't just transform your relationships, you transform yourself. You become someone who radiates calm confidence, someone others are drawn to not because you're trying to control them, but because you've mastered yourself. Let me know in the comments. What's one thing in your life right now that you can let go of because it's outside your control? Or better yet, what's one thing you can focus on to take back your peace? Remember, love, like life, flourishes when you stop trying to control it and start focusing on what you can do. Stay with me, because the next habit we're diving into is one that will make this transformation even more powerful. Let's keep going. 2. Practice daily reflection. Have you ever had a moment where you replay a conversation in your mind and think, I wish I'd said something different? Maybe it was with someone you love, a partner, a crush, or even a best friend. You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering if your words or actions hurt them, if you could have done more, if they're thinking about it too. Let me ask you this. How often do you take the time to reflect on those moments, not to dwell, but to truly understand and grow from them? Reflection isn't about beating yourself up. It's about learning to show up as your best self, especially for the people you care about. Take Liam, for example. Liam was in a long-term relationship with Mia. They loved each other deeply, but their fights were starting to take a toll. Every time they argued, Liam would get defensive and shut down, while Mia wanted to talk it through. They'd go to bed angry, and the same pattern would repeat the next time. One day, after a particularly painful argument, Liam decided to do something different. Instead of letting his emotions fester, he sat down with a notebook and wrote about what happened. He asked himself 3 questions. 1. What triggered the fight? 2. How did I respond, and was that helpful? 3. What can I do differently next time? At first, it felt uncomfortable. Liam didn't want to admit his mistakes or confront his own behavior. But as he kept reflecting night after night, something incredible happened. He started seeing patterns not just in his fights with Mia, but in how he reacted to stress, disappointment, and even love. The next time they argued, Liam paused. Instead of shutting down, he took a deep breath and said, I need a moment to think, but I want to work through this with you. That one small change turned the argument into a conversation. Mia noticed the difference, and over time, their fights became less frequent and more constructive. Reflection, my friends, is a superpower. Marcus Aurelius practiced it every night, writing down his thoughts, his struggles, and his insights. He wasn't trying to be perfect. He was trying to understand himself better so he could live a more virtuous life. Let me ask you, when was the last time you reflected on your actions? Especially in your relationships? Have you taken the time to understand how your words and choices impact the people you love? Here's a simple practice you can try tonight. Before you go to bed, grab a piece of paper or open a notes app on your phone. Write down 1 thing you're grateful for in your relationship. 2. One moment today where you could have been more patient, kind, or understanding. 3. One small thing you can do tomorrow to improve. It doesn't have to take more than 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes can change the way you approach love, life, and even yourself. The beauty of reflection is that it's not about being perfect. It's about being better. And when you make a habit of it, you start to notice the little things, moments of joy, opportunities for growth, and most importantly, the love that's already in your life. Let me know in the comments. What's one thing you're grateful for in your love life right now? Or one lesson you've learned recently that has helped you grow? Stick with me, because the next point is about embracing discomfort, and trust me, this one's a game changer. 3. Embrace discomfort. Let's talk about heartbreak. Have you ever had your heart broken? That gut-wrenching feeling where it feels like the world has crumbled around you? Maybe it was the end of a relationship you thought would last forever. Or maybe it was the slow realization that the person you loved didn't feel the same way. Heartbreak is one of the most uncomfortable emotions we can experience. But here's the thing, it's also one of the most powerful opportunities for growth. Let me tell you about Maya. Maya was head over heels for Daniel. They had been together for 3 years, and she thought they were building a future together. But one day, out of the blue, Daniel told her he wasn't happy and ended the relationship. Maya was devastated. She cried for weeks, replaying every moment of their relationship, wondering what she did wrong. At first, Maya tried to avoid the pain. She distracted herself with work, scrolled endlessly on social media, and refused to talk about Daniel with her friends. But the more she ran from the discomfort, the heavier it felt. Then, one night, Maya stumbled across a quote from Marcus Aurelius. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. It stopped her in her tracks. She realized she'd been avoiding her pain instead of facing it. The next day, Maya did something bold. She sat down with her journal and wrote about her heartbreak, not just the sadness, but also the lessons. She wrote about the moments in the relationship where she lost herself, where she ignored red flags, and where she could have been more honest about her own needs. Maya didn't just sit with her discomfort, she embraced it. She signed up for a yoga class she'd been too scared to try, started volunteering at an animal shelter, and even joined a book club. Every time she faced a new challenge, she felt a little stronger, a little braver. Over time, Maya transformed. She realized that heartbreak wasn't the end of her story. It was the beginning of a new chapter. Let me ask you, what discomfort are you avoiding in your life right now? Is it a tough conversation with someone you love? A risk you're scared to take? Or maybe it's the fear of being vulnerable and opening your heart again after it's been hurt. Discomfort isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace. It's where we grow, learn, and discover what we're truly capable of. Here's a challenge for you. Pick one thing you've been avoiding because it feels uncomfortable. Maybe it's journaling about a past heartbreak, reaching out to someone you've lost touch with, or stepping outside your comfort zone a small way. Whatever it is, take that first step today. And remember, the obstacle is the way. When you embrace discomfort, you build strength not just in your mind, but in your heart. Stay tuned, because the next habit will help you find the calm you need to navigate life's storms. Let's keep going. 4. Cultivate inner tranquility. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You're sitting by the ocean, watching the waves crash onto the shore. The surface is restless, constantly shifting, but deep beneath the water, everything is calm, steady, and unshaken. Now, let me ask you, does your mind feel more like the surface of the ocean, or the calm depths below? When you're in love, those waves can feel even more chaotic. A missed text can feel like rejection. A disagreement can spiral into doubt. And a simple misunderstanding can make you question everything. Sound familiar? Let's take a step back and talk about Marcus Aurelius. He wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." In other words, it's not what happens to us that creates turmoil. It's how we perceive it. Mentally strong people know this secret. They cultivate inner tranquility to stay grounded, even when the storms of life rage around them. Let me tell you a story about Alex and Sophia. Alex was a chronic overthinker. He loved Sophia deeply, but every time she seemed distant. Whether because of a bad day at work or simply needing space, his mind would race. What if she's losing interest? What if she's thinking about leaving me? His insecurities would bubble to the surface, and more often than not, they'd lead to unnecessary arguments. One day, after a particularly emotional fight, Sophia told Alex, "I love you, but I need you to trust me." Not every silence is a sign that something's wrong. Her words hit him hard. Alex realized he was letting his own inner chaos affect their relationship. That night, he decided to try something new. He downloaded a mindfulness app and began practicing meditation. At first, it was tough. His thoughts were like unruly kids refusing to sit still. But with time, Alex learned to pause, breathe, and observe his emotions without reacting. The next time Sophia had a tough day and needed some space, Alex didn't spiral. Instead, he reminded himself, "Her emotions aren't about me. I can choose how I respond." Instead of confronting her, he gave her the support and space she needed. And their relationship grew stronger. Now, let me ask you, how often do you let your emotions control you? When was the last time you paused, took a deep breath, and asked yourself if your reaction was worth your peace? Here's a simple practice you can try right now. The next time you feel overwhelmed, whether in love, work, or life, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Count to 4 as you inhale, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. Repeat this a few times. You'll be amazed at how quickly your mind begins to calm. Tranquility isn't about ignoring your emotions. It's about creating space between feeling and reacting. When you master this, not only will you feel more at peace, but your relationships will thrive because you're no longer bringing unnecessary chaos to the table. So tell me in the comments, what's one thing that disrupts your inner peace? And how will you reclaim it today? Stick around, because the next habit will give your life purpose and meaning in ways you can't imagine. 5. Serve a higher purpose. Let me ask you something. What's the most selfless thing you've ever done for someone you love? Was it staying up late to comfort them during a hard time? Helping them chase their dreams even when it was inconvenient for you? Or maybe it was something small but powerful, like holding their hand when they were scared. Love, at its core, is about service. And this idea extends far beyond romantic relationships. Marcus Aurelius believed in serving a higher purpose, something bigger than himself. He wrote, "What we do now echoes in eternity." Mentally strong people live by this principle. They don't just focus on their own happiness, they align their lives with a purpose that uplifts others. Let me share a story about Hannah and Ryan. They were high school sweethearts who had been married for 5 years. Like any couple, they had their ups and downs, but there was something special about the way they supported each other's dreams. Ryan always wanted to start a nonprofit to help underprivileged kids, but he was scared. He worried about leaving his stable job and how it might affect their financial security. Hannah, however, saw his passion and encouraged him. She told him, "If this is your purpose, we'll figure it out together. I believe in you." With her support, Ryan took the leap. Starting the nonprofit wasn't easy. They faced setbacks, long nights, and financial strain, but something amazing happened. The more they poured their energy into serving others, the stronger their bond became. Hannah started volunteering at the nonprofit, and they worked as a team to create something that impacted hundreds of lives. Their love grew deeper, not because they focused solely on each other, but because they worked together toward a higher purpose. Now, let me ask you, what's your higher purpose? Is there a cause you care deeply about? A dream you've put on hold? Or a way you can serve others while growing closer to the people you love? Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It can be as simple as mentoring a younger colleague, being there for a friend in need, or volunteering in your community. When you align your actions with something bigger than yourself, life becomes richer, more meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. Love and purpose are deeply connected. When you serve others, you create a ripple effect that not only strengthens your relationships, but also leaves a lasting legacy. So, tell me in the comments, what's one way you can serve a higher purpose this week? And remember, the best way to live a meaningful life is to live for something greater than yourself. Stay with me because this journey of self-growth is just beginning. These 5 habits, inspired by Marcus Aurelius and Stoic philosophy, aren't just theoretical ideas. They're practical tools you can use to transform your mindset, strengthen your relationships, and build a life of calm confidence. Now it's your turn. Which habit resonates with you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video added value to your life, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with someone who might need it. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.